If you're a seasoned life insurance agent, you already know that December is one of the best months for selling life insurance and protecting families. So, in this training, we're going to talk about how to finish the year strong and create some momentum going into the next year. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why December is the best month out there. But before that, how do we finish the year strong? What is the things that we can do to put in place to create momentum for the next year, but make December the best month and best year yet? Number one, the first thing that I like to do is focus on mindset. I focus on mindset all the time, and you probably hear this with all kinds of other videos about personal development and all that. But the truth is, mindset is really, really strong. We live in a negative world, right? There's all kinds of chaos and wars going on. Think about the war with Ukraine and Russia, and it's just a lot of negativity out there, right? So if we're getting bombarded with negativity, extra bills here and there that we don't expect, doctor bills, your kid breaks an iPad, you got to buy him a new iPad at school, right? All of these negative things that go on, we have to have something to counteract that to create positive in our life. And that's where personal development comes in. And personal development really isn't just a foo-foo type of I'm going to build up my mind type of thing. What personal development is simply just putting positive things in our mind that help us grow, help us think of new ideas, and help us create a positive environment around us, right? Because if you're negative, then your kids are going to be negative, your spouse is going to be negative, and it just creates a big circle. Right? So how do we combat that? Well, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do. So you can choose to adopt them, you can choose not to adopt them, and you can choose to just abandon them. You can choose to think that this is all just foo-foo stuff and it's not going to work for you, or you can choose to do what you think is right for you. And if any of these habits that I do are right for you, feel free to adopt them. Just go for it. But one of the things that I do is I get up early. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, and there's studies that have been shown that getting up early before the sun comes up and getting outside when the sun comes up, that vitamin D and those nutrients that the sun gives us through our skin can help your circadian rhythm and help set the day for a positive mental attitude. That's the first thing, simply getting up early. Now, in order to get up early, you have to get enough sleep. You can't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and expect to get up at 5:30. That's 3.5 hours of sleep. You're not going to be able to sustain yourself if you do that. You're going to get tired within a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're back to square one again. You got to sleep it off. So you got to get enough sleep. Now, studies show that you need about 8 hours of sleep in order to function properly and give your body and your mind a chance to recover when you're sleeping. Now, does everybody need 8 hours of sleep? Studies show no. For myself, in order to function proper, I need at least 6 hours of sleep. 7 hours is optimal for me. So if I can get to bed between 9:30 and 10, if I get up at 5:30, I'm having a blessed day. I'm going to have a blessed day anyways because that's what I choose to do. But I'm going to have an easier day because my mind's going to be recovered. My body is going to be recovered. I'm going to get enough sleep. And does that happen every day? No, it doesn't happen every day, but I can try to make it happen every single day and do the best I can. Now, how do I do that? Well, set some reminders, set some cool down time. Turn your lights down. If you have adjustable lights, dimmer lights, you can dim the lights for an hour before you go to bed. That'll help you make you tired. There's supplements that you can take. AGZ is a good one. It's by a company called AG1, which I'm a sponsor of. I'll put the link in the show notes. If you want a good deal on that, you're welcome to try that out. Just click that. It's the best deal you're ever going to get with one, or AGZ for that matter. Set some reminders, right? Cool down, relax, read a book, get your mind in a focused position and get it ready to go to sleep. Another thing that I like to do is journal. Write down your thoughts for the day. I like to write down 3 positives from the day and 3 things that I want to work on the next day. By doing that, you're helping clear your mind of the things that you were focused on throughout that day. Sometimes it may be troubling thoughts, challenges that you weren't able to come over. By writing them down, a lot of times you would be surprised at how all of a sudden the solution to the problem comes out just by writing it down. So that's a few things that I do. Another thing that I do for mindset every day is after I wake up, I take my son to seminary. And as he's in seminary, I'm a faithful person. I study God. I read scriptures. After I do that, he gets done with seminary, and then I drop him off at school, and then I go to the gym. And I work out. Now I'm working on my body. And I'm doing the best I can to work every other muscle that I'm going to use. I mean, I don't work the same muscles every day. I'm not working out to get big and strong. I'm 50 years old. I don't need to get big and strong. What I do need to do is stay fit and stay toned. And so I want to work on the muscles that I'm going to use every single day. I'm going to work on different exercises that I'm going to use every single day. I want to be able to move my legs sideways. So I'm going to work on those muscles that allow me to do that. I'm going to work on my heart, do a little bit of cardio every single day. I'm not going to do cardio. I take that back. I don't do cardio every day. I do cardio at least 1 time a week. I try to get twice a week in. That way it exercises my heart as well. By doing this sends endorphins to your brain, and it helps you think better throughout the day as well. I like to get it done in the morning, not in the afternoon, not in the evening. I find that if I do it in the afternoon or the evening, a lot of times things come up through the day and my brain says, oh, get this done right now, put out this fire right now, and don't go work out. Or I'll work out in a half an hour. I'll get there a little bit late. And then all of a sudden I'm there and I got 10 minutes to work out and I'm not going to get a full workout in. Creates anxiety. I don't even want to do that. So what I do is I plan it every single day to get it done in the morning, and then I don't have to worry about it. I plan an hour and a half. I plan to work out for 45 minutes, but that takes up the time to get there, work out, shower, come back home, get ready for the day. Now, once I come back home, I'm creating my day. Most of the time, my day is already created. The majority of it, I should say. I already know how many appointments I'm going to have. I already know what free space I'm going to have in my day. In that free space, that's where I'm filling in that extra 25% of the day. Maybe I need to take my son to the doctor. Maybe I need to create a business plan for some agents that I work with. Maybe I need to call a carrier to work on a case that I'm doing. Maybe I need to follow up with some extra clients. Right? I'm putting that in there and I'm blocking off that time on my day. That way, at the very beginning part of my day, I don't have to think about it anymore. I already know the rest of my day is going to happen. And if something does come up, no problem. We'll put it in that white space that is still available. But if there's any white space left over, guess what? Your mind needs breaks. Take a break. Studies show that there's actually a book out there called Deep Focus by James Clear. And what he says is that the mind can work in deep focus for about an hour and a half, really, really strong in deep focus on one good thing. And one focus thing that you're doing, I should say. And then it needs a break, and it just needs about a 10 to 15 minute break. And so in that time, you can go for a walk. Think about something other than what you're working on. Think about something that makes you happy. Choose your thoughts wisely, because those things that you think about can come to fruition. Can't even say the word. But if you're putting positive thoughts in your mind in that time, choosing what you want to create in your day, then chances are that may happen. Not necessarily just in your day, but in the next 6 months, the next year, that kind of thing. So take a break, right? And sometimes I don't take a break every hour and a half, 2 hours. I would love to, but sometimes my schedule doesn't do that. Yesterday, I had back-to-back appointments from like about 1:30 to I think 6:30. just back to back to back to back. And after at 6:30, my brain was fried. And so I had to take a break. I took a half an hour break. I got a little bite to eat, and I refocused my mind and got back to work for about another hour, hour and a half. That's the best thing about this business, guys, is that you can create your day any way you want to. You can take 2 hours in the middle of the day. You can take 2 hours in the middle of the morning. You can take 4 hours in the middle of the afternoon and come back and work 6 to 9. All you got to do is plug it in your schedule, and you can do whatever you want to. A lot of people think that you have to work on the phones every single minute of your life and life insurance. You can. A lot of people do, but you don't have to. And you're actually going to find out that you're more focused if you create breaks in your day to get away and then come back and refocus and get right into it and just start dialing again, running your appointments again. Okay. So mindset is a big thing. Another thing that I do for mindset is I listen to podcasts, read books. When I figured out how important mindset was, I want to say I was 34 years old. I had been doing drugs and alcohol for 17 years of my life. It had been half of my life, and I needed to get out of it. Long story short, there is a long story, and I'll share it with you sometime. Not on this video though. But I got on my knees and I prayed, and I started to act as if Heavenly Father wanted me to do something, and it changed my life. And one of the things that I learned in that prayer was I needed to focus on my mind. I needed to really figure out how to change my mindset in a positive way that's going to serve me rather than hurt me. And so I started to read books. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have ADHD like crazy. Throughout my life, I hated reading books because I would read 3 to 4 pages and then realize I have no idea what I just read, because the whole time, even though my eyes are going like this, reading every word, I'm thinking about something else in my life that is going on. Something going on with my sons, my daughter, my wife, something going on in my world, right? And so I would read 3 or 4 pages and be like, what in the world did I just read? So I'd have to go back to read the whole thing again. So I learned to focus on reading just a few paragraphs and then going back and saying, okay, what did I read? And then I would read a few more paragraphs and say, okay, what was that about? And I would recap it in my mind. Now I can read a lot better now and understand a lot better. But I also listen to books now as well. Listen to audiobooks. Audible, I think, is one of the best investments there could be possibly, because it's like $17 a month. And you're just putting knowledge into your brain. Warren Buffett said the best investment you could ever have is the investment in yourself and in your mind. That's from Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, used to be the richest man in the world. And so read books. And with Audible, for $17, you get 1 book for free every single month. You can't beat that with a stick. You can't even beat eggs with that. Podcasts. I listen to podcasts a lot. Rob Dial, I'm going to throw his name out there. Rob Dial, the Mindset Mentor. He's got quick little 20-minute videos that help your mindset. If you're in a bad mood, if your thinking is stinking that day, you can jump on his podcast, and he's got some pretty valuable words to share. I think it's a really good podcast to listen to. Ed Milet is another good one. He's a person of faith as well. He interviews some pretty heavy people with some pretty cool stories. And the thing is that, everybody has problems, right? We all have our own problems, our own challenges that we have to take, our own cross that we have to bear. Everybody has that. We all deal with it a little bit differently, okay? And so by listening to something positive, maybe you hear a story about somebody else that's going through a challenge, and that challenge is worse than yours. Now, all of a sudden, your challenge becomes a little bit smaller, right? So listening to something every day, and guess what? When I go work out, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. because I can literally listen to a podcast or listen to a book while I'm working out. I don't listen to music. Music is great for if you're in a bad mood, you need a quick pick me up, that kind of thing. Put on some pump up music. Maybe it's good to start a workout, get you all fired up so you can get going in your workout. But it's not great to listen to it all the time, in my opinion. Some people beg to differ. If you're a drummer or a musician, you probably beg to differ. But in my opinion, I like to, in order to save time, make time more efficient for myself. For me, I like to listen to something positive while I'm working out, a podcast, a book. That way I'm working on my body and I'm working on my mindset all at the same time. When I'm done, I take a shower. Now I'm ready to start my day. I'm ready. Okay. So that's mindset. Okay. So let's talk about what we can do in the life insurance space to maximize December. Okay. So that we can create momentum going into the next year. One of the things that I like to do now, if you're with another IMO and you get free leads, great. Have them give you more free leads. Okay. We buy leads here. And I like the fact that we buy leads because I get to choose which leads I buy. I get to buy as many as I want to. And here's the deal. Leads are an investment. You get to write that stuff off on taxes. But leads are like a cash machine. ROI across the board is about 1 to 10, right? So you spend $1,000, you're probably going to make 10 grand. Once you get really good on the phones, your ROI is going to grow, right? It's going to grow from 1,000 to 1 to 12, so to say. Then it'll grow from 1 to 18. Then it'll grow from 1 to 20, right? Every $1,000 you spend, you make 20 grand. Then you start learning and growing even more, selling higher ticket life insurance, talking to higher income people. It may grow from 1 to 50. It may grow from 1 to 80. Okay. And that's why I buy leads, because I get to dictate what leads that I buy. Now, if you're interested in getting your own leads and becoming under my mentorship, up at the top, there's a link that says Join Payback Life. Click that link, watch the videos on there, fill out that form, and we can have a conversation to see if you're a good fit for our team. But buy leads. And if you're making some pretty good income right now in life insurance and you're protecting families, double down, because I'm going to go over the 4 reasons here in a minute why December is the best. And once you hear these reasons, you're going to be like, okay, I'm doubling down. Because the reality of it is if you track your numbers, which you should do, you're going to find out that you have a certain close ratio. My close ratio is about 80 to 90%. Okay. Depending on the day, depending on the month, it's about 80 to 90% across the board. That means out of every 10 appointments that I have, I'm closing 8 to 9 of them. Okay. And you're going to find out what your no-show ratio is. You're going to find out how much you present to people, meaning talk to them and present a policy. You're going to find out how many people buy a policy compared to how many people you present, if you're tracking your numbers. Now, if you're not tracking your numbers, that's your own damn fault. I'll be honest with you. And the reason why it's your own damn fault that you're not making the money that you want to do is because you don't know where you're at. You're just going with the wind, right? It's like driving down the road, trying to figure out, being dropped in a city where you don't know where you're at, and then trying to find the nearest Walmart without GPS. You're just going to drive around aimlessly, right? So if you track your numbers, you'll know exactly where you're at and you know where you can improve. And if you can find out what your close ratio is, and if you're spending $10,000 a month on leads, then and your close ratio is 90%, then you can double that lead spend and know that you're going to double your close ratio. You're going to make more money. You're going to double your income. You're going to double your family's health. And in that, you might get a home run. And what I mean by that is some policies, some clients, they need to protect one person in their family. Right? They need one policy. Some clients, they need a policy for their kids. Some clients, they need a policy for their wife and husband, right? And that's, one policy I consider a base hit. A policy for a husband and wife, That's two policies, that's a double, right? You cover the whole family, that's a triple, right? But here's the deal. Every now and again, you're going to get a wealthy individual that's been looking for some way to grow their money tax-free in an IU, and they need to protect their family, and they want to stuff that thing which is with as much money as they possibly can. And that's a home run, right? And if you buy enough leads, you're going to run into home runs. You're going to get base hits all the time. You're going to get doubles here and there. You're going to get triples here and there. But every now and again, you hit a home run. That's a nice payday. But you have to buy enough leads to get that on a consistent basis, okay? Now, out of the leads that you buy, some of the things that you can do to maximize that lead potential, and you guys already know this, I'm just giving you a reminder here. One, set as many appointments as you can. I go for 10 appointments a day. If I can have 10 appointments a day, 5 appointments on Saturday, I work till 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays. I used to work all day on Saturday when I first started. I work till 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays because most people work and they need the Saturday. So I have to work Saturday because I want to, because I want to make money and I want to protect some families, right? So if you go for 10 appointments a day, that's 55 appointments a week. Now, my no-show rate is about 27%, 27.8. I just looked at it yesterday. We say, just to make numbers easy, we say it's 25%. That means out of 55 appointments, 14 of them are going to no-show. And so that means the rest of those appointments are either going to buy a policy or not buy a policy. But I know my closing ratio is between 8 to 90 or 80 to 90%, right? So out of those, I'm closing anywhere between 33 to 37 appointments per week, okay? Now, that doesn't happen every week. It doesn't happen all the time. A lot of those are second appointments, and sometimes they reschedule, sometimes they don't. But when you have that many numbers, you can literally help a lot of families, okay? Another thing that you can do is follow up. Work on following up with the people that don't show up to the appointments. Work on following up with the people that send in a lead form but didn't answer the phone. Text them, email them. Work on when you're on the phone running a presentation, work on setting appointments with the spouse to get them coverage. Work on getting their kids coverage with a whole life children's policy or an IUO. Work on getting appointments with their friends, their family members. Get referrals. Ask for referrals. It never hurts to ask for referrals. You know, one of the things that I do is I get the phone number for their beneficiaries. And I let them know that, look, I'm going to reach out to your beneficiary, make sure they understand who to call if something were to ever happen to you. And then what I'm going to do is ask them if they have a policy. Get them interested in a life insurance policy for themselves and for their family. Okay, it's a great way to get a referral and get them a policy as well. Okay. If you're in between appointments, another thing you can do is in between appointments, or if a client no-shows, call them. I'm sorry, not call them. If a client no-shows and you have some extra time on your calendar, start calling to set appointments again. Call your leads. Be on the phone. Set more appointments. If you have space, 2 to 3 hours, try to do one call closes where you close the person on the phone right then and there. If you can close them on the phone right then and there, that's a sale for the day. It's a family protected right then and there. Okay? If they can't, and you can't, if they have to go in the middle of the conversation, make sure to clear their schedule first so that you know when they're going to be home, and then set the appointment when they're home. And those are some things to go for here in December that's going to make December one of the best. Now, here's the 4 reasons why December is the best month possible. Number 1 reason, it's Christmas. Since it's Christmas season, everybody's in the buying mood. Everybody's thinking about their families, right? It is the tradition to buy stuff. Why do they call it Black Friday after Thanksgiving? Because the whole year, a lot of these corporations are still in the red. They still have more expenses than they have profit. Black Friday comes along and now they're in the black. Now they're out of the red and in the black. People are in the buying mood, okay? Number 2 reason, I just said it. People are thinking about their families. They love their families. They've saved all year, and that's number 3. They've saved all year for the month that they can go and buy gifts for their families. Why not have the best gift ever of an IUL for a child? An IUL can pay for a college or supplement a payment for a college. An IUL can make a down payment on a house when they're 30 to 40 years old. They can borrow from it, pay it back, borrow from it, pay it back. And if you don't know how to sell IULs, get with me. I will show you. Hit the link above, go to the website, fill out the form, we'll chat. And then here's the number 4 reason right here why December is the best month possible. Every single year, December, my income goes up. Why? Because people buy life insurance. Here's the number 4 reason. People work throughout the year and they get year-end bonuses. They have extra money. They've saved money and they have extra money from their work because their work gives them bonuses. So those are the 4 reasons why December is the best month. So go out there, buy some more leads, work a little bit more, protect a lot more families. And if you need help, or if you're looking for an IMO to work with, or if you're looking for a mentorship and you want to join my team, or you need some leads, reach out to me. Hit the link above, watch the videos, fill out the form, and you guys have a blessed and Merry Christmas and a safe December.